All right, so we're going to start probably with something you've seen before. We'll work on that a couple times, and then we'll go into some kind of like what if things. Okay, so I'm going to put my hand, I'm controlling outside his elbow right here. My goal with this is just to make sure that he doesn't post his hand on the ground when I start to do the sweep. Okay, this hand is going to go palm up, and I'm going to bring my head close to his knee. And as I do, I use my, you see how I'm using this leg, this arm, and this momentum, this kind of momentum right here, like a pendulum, to bring him over me. I don't want him straight up like this. I want to bring him over me, okay? So as I bring him out, now I'm carrying his weight over my body. And once I feel his weight over my body, this leg is going to make a circle and come back in against his leg here. But when I do it, I don't bend it. If I bend it, he's going to fall on my leg and it will be hard for me to get on top. So as I bring him over, this makes a circle and I straighten this leg. So when he falls, he never falls onto my leg trapping me. You see, he falls onto the mat. So that makes it easy for me to get to the top. Okay? So I control here, palm up, here, you see? And now I'm going to swing this out, swing in. See how he never really falls on my leg? If he falls on my leg here, now it's going to be a race. Who can get on top first? And he's probably getting on top because he's on top of my leg. Right? And I do it. If I straighten my leg against his leg, now he can't, because as he tries to come up, I'm already on top. Okay, and you see I lift this up and keep his elbow off the ground, just like this. Okay? So here, palm up, pull him in. Okay. Drop your hips, match your feet together or cross your feet here and lock his hips up. Take this up off the ground. Okay? Good question. So let's say if I go for this, right? And he bases, he drives his weight down like this. Okay? He puts all his weight down. How am I going to get, how am I going to get his weight over here? If he drives his weight down. Well, I have options. I can go to his arm here, right? But that's not, let's say I want the sweep, okay? With all the sweeps that you do from the closed guard, if the guy's already settled his weight here, okay, it's going to be really hard to sweep him. The time to do these kinds of sweeps is when he starts to already move. As he starts to move like he wants to do something, that's the time to go. Because his hips are already going to be coming up for him to try to do something. If he's waiting or if he's stalling, he's like in lockdown position, right, like this, you're never going to get in. It's only going to be when we're sitting here and he starts to move, and then I go. You know what I mean? Transition. Yeah, in that moment when he's thinking like offensively, like I'm going to pass. Yeah. So he lifts his hips up to try to pass, then you're going to pull him in and go for it. But if he's just sitting there, none of your sweeps are going to work. You know what I mean? Like that's a pretty solid position to be in if I'm just right here, locked down like this. So it's going to be hard to get any kind of sweep. And that's why, in a lot of tournaments, they'll get an advantage to the guy on the bottom, or they'll stand on or something like that. And that's why when you're winning and there's 30 seconds left, this is a good position to be in because it's going to be tough for the guy to do anything. Okay? So you can practice it like this, but just keep in mind when you're sparring, if you're having trouble getting it, think about your timing so that as I start to do something, anything, he's going to go for it. Boom. There. See, I'm already going. Okay? All right, try that. Okay, same thing, same entry, okay? I go to the side, okay? Now, when I want to sweep him, he steps with this foot to block my sweep. There, good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my grip from here, you see this behind his elbow, to here and lock this in. This one's going to climb behind his shoulder, and this leg is going to swing out and connect to his head. I don't cross my feet. I drive my heels down to the ground as I drive my hips up. Okay, so one more time. I go here, go to sweep. Look, this slides over. Boom, right here. Here, my heels drive down to the ground. My hips go all the way up, as close to his shoulder as I can get them. My heels drive to the ground, and my hips drive up, just like this. Okay? So it stops the sweep, but he exposes his arm here. So this arm slides over, traps this inside. Now my hips go up, my heels drive down, and I keep this pinned to my chest here with this thumb facing up.
Do you grab your own collar on the foot?
You don't really have to. You just have to keep this, like right at there's this little notch, right, where his wrist is. And that's what I keep squeezed. I'm squeezing my forearm and my bicep together to keep this locked in, just like that.
Okay.
Okay, what will work next, you can just, not today because we don't have time, but is, let's say I do this because this isn't the tightest grip in the world, right?
Right.
Even if you're a no-gi, I can try this, right? He might be able to slide this arm out, pick this arm out. That's okay. Then we just switch to the triangle, right?
Oh yeah.
So if he takes his arm out, you already have that angle. He's right between your legs. You just switch to the triangle. Okay?
Oh
One
yeah.
time? One time?
Yeah, that's one sexy.
One more time. I go for the sweep. Here. This slides over. Boom. Lock this up. He slides it out. Switch your grip to this.
You don't have to do that.
No. Switch your grip to here. And get this. Lock this over. Make sure you keep his posture down. Keep this squeeze tight against his shoulder. That's this leg over here.
Okay, great. Real quick on the hand position. When you've got this position here and he blocks his step out and you're about to sweep, you let go of the elbow and use your bicep over the wrist to hold
I
it.
pinch. Come here, so you feel it. Pinch. It's like it's not just this, because this can slide out, right? Yeah, so watch. And I go here. You see how I get this little pinch right there? It locks it. It's not, it's not like a trap, like a steel
Give
trap.
you time to.
Yeah, it gives me enough time to get this over, right? But let's say he does pull it out. Boom. Then I go to my triangle, right? So that's what I'm talking about. If you're going to try for the arm lock, you're probably going to get it. But if he times it perfectly, you still have the triangle to follow up with, okay?
Okay.
All right, try that, guys. Go for this. Here, control it. He's asking like why he's covered here instead of just grabbing here. If I just grab the sleeve, I don't have any control really over his arm. I have control over his wrist here, but he can put his elbow anywhere he wants to avoid. Yeah, see, to avoid this. And when I hug this against here, you see it's so pressed up against my chest here that my chest is kind of keeping the elbow in place where I need it to be. You see, here he can drive his elbow to the outside. Okay, drive it there, right? Here it's hard. I've got it cut. You see what I mean? So that I can lock this. If I just control here, this isn't as strong of a grip. This is a good grip for making moves and things like that. It's not really a good grip when you want to arm lock. Okay. So the other thing is, let's say when I go for this, right, here, he pulls his arm out, but at the same time, he postures. He makes that posture. Okay, so now we have a hard time going for the triangle. But since his arm is here and I'm already grabbing his sleeve, you see, I just switched to him. So if he postures, or let's say you have short legs, right, and triangle's not your thing. See, because I switched my grip to go to the triangle, but his posture's not going to let me get it, I'm just going to go behind his shoulder, drive this down with a grip so he doesn't hear. I'll switch this and switch to the omoplata instead. So you have a lot of options. Once you make that angle, you pretty much, you have a lot of options from there, okay?